What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm so happy that Dr. Drew went on the Heather McDonald show, The Juicy Scoop, on YouTube, and he done this interview with her where he talked about being the host of the Teen Mom reunions and why he does not ask the girls the hard-hitting questions that we all want him to ask. Now, here's the thing. From what I've noticed with Dr. Drew, it seems like over the years, it's gotten worse and worse and worse, where he really he's just a host. Like, he does not ask the hard-hitting questions. He really does not. And there's been so many times in the past few reunions where I've gotten irritated at him because I feel like he will ask the hard-hitting questions to someone over something ridiculous. But when it comes to like serious topics, he won't really ask the hard questions. He just kind of blows over things or just lets them, he'll like ask like, so what about this? And they'll give their excuse. And even if their excuse reasoning is BS, he's just like, oh, okay. He doesn't call them out on it. So for years, I know I've been kind of irritated about it. I know the other fans have, because I've seen the comments on social media. People have asked for Dr. Drew to be removed from being the host from Teen Mom because he does not ask the girls these hard-hitting questions. So plenty of people have wondered, like, why, Dr. Drew? Why are you not questioning these girls when something serious comes up? Like, Amber is, for one, that he's always really coddled. And in this interview that he done with Heather McDonald, he talks about that. He talks about the reasonings why he does not really go in or call them out. And he also talks about how he feels about the fans that want the girls fired. Like, fans that vocalize on social media that they want a particular girl fired. He doesn't like it. So let's get into it, you guys. I will drop the link for the interview in the description box below. Heather McDonald, The Juicy Scoop, has a lot of good interviews. So this is what Dr. Drew has to say on fans saying that he's too lenient on some of the Teen Mom stars, such as Amber Portwood, because he does not ask them the tough questions at the reunions. So he said that because he is a licensed medical professional, he has to work within different parameters than, say, Dr. Phil, who is not a licensed medical doctor. Because of this, he said he does not call the girls out the way some of the fans think that he should. He is quoted as saying, "These people who want me to somehow attack a brittle mental health patient like Amber as though that's going to straighten her out, give me a break. She's a complicated case with a lot of significant issues. This call her out notion is false. It's a flawed idea. It's not something that helps anybody. She's been in treatment for 10 years now. She was in prison for drug addiction. She's had consequences. She knows." Really, when you think about that, I don't know if I so much want him to call them out as far as just when they spew BS, say that's BS, you know? I don't know. So I get where he's going here. Like, she's a complicated case. She does have mental health issues, and you don't want to push her into like a mental breakdown, you know, by coming at her. I think there's a fine line between holding someone accountable and like calling someone out, I guess. He says that is going to harm her. Why would I harm someone who's got significant issues and, by the way, is doing everything they can to treat their underlying problems? It's not like she's ignoring it. And even if that's the case, then I would urge somebody into treatment. The way people imagine it on television is not the way you do it. It's not the Dr. Phil world. Dr. Phil does great television, but he's not doing mental health services. I actually think sometimes he does, though, because you guys remember Bad Baby? Danielle, Catch Me Outside, how about that? You guys remember her? Like, several children he has sent away to, like, mental health facilities. So, it is different. I get what he's saying there, too. But I think there's been times that Amber was, in fact, working towards her mental health, but there's also been times that she has not. And we've seen that. Like, usually, I think as viewers, we can kind of tell if she's doing good or if she's not doing good, you know? So I think it's just like in the times that she's not doing good, and we know, like, boyfriends are coming out saying that she locks herself in the bathroom or the bedroom for all hours of the night and smokes weed and pops pills and listens to music. I think that would be one of the times that you would really ask her, like, is this what you're doing? Because if so, you need to get this taken care of. So now to talk about Farrah. He says, I miss Farrah. I actually do. But make no mistake, at times Farrah was horrible to me. Awful. She would come out and do some of the wildest stuff because she was angry. I'm used to that with patients, and I noticed in my last interview with her, she would just stonewall me. He says that he was actually sorry to see Farrah leave the show when she got fired. He said that he told her, I don't know if anyone else will miss you, but I will. I will definitely miss you. He said that they spent a lot of time together. Then he talks about on fans wanting him to attack the girls during interviews during the earlier years of the show. I've not seen any fans say that they want Dr. Drew to attack the girls. Ever. The only thing I've ever seen being said is, why does he not hold them accountable? Why does he question one girl and dig into one girl but not the other? I remember this one incident years ago. It was when Joe first got with V, and Joe wanted to get Isaac, and V was going to be with him, and Kale said no to it. And her reasoning was, I don't know the girl. I checked her out on social media, and she has pictures smoking weed, and she was underage, I do believe. She was kind of young, so she was like, I don't know her well enough for my child to be around her. I know she smokes weed. I'm just not comfortable with it right now. And Dr. Drew went in on Kale about that. He was like, this is not just your child, this is Joe's child too, and you have to hand over the reins a little bit. You have to trust him. You cannot just not allow Isaac to be around the woman in Joe's life. And Kale got up and walked off. And I agreed with Kale, because I was like, they just got together. It's not like Joe had been with V for a year. It had been a couple months, and Kale had not been introduced to V yet. And just what she saw from her, she was not pleased with. So I'm like, no, I agree. I wouldn't let my child go with someone that I did not know. I felt that he really went in on Kale and kind of told her that she was wrong in the way that she was parenting. But yet someone like Amber, he would not dare say, you shouldn't do that. You're wrong for that. So on fans wanting him to attack the girls during interviews during the earlier years of the show, this is what he had to say. When they were 16, 17, and 18, it was a really scary time for me. I felt like we had to protect them and nurture them. And you had the same mindset with the angry fan mobs saying that we should be attacking them on air and setting them straight, confronting them. All these types of words that mean nothing in the mental health world. If they mean anything, it's going to be something negative. He said that was a really scary time, particularly with Amber, by the way, because there was domestic violence. She was a drug addict. She could have died through all of that really easily. That was tough. Once they become adults, it got a lot easier. Then he discusses on the Teen Mom fans wanting certain cast members fired. So he defends the cast members of Teen Mom shows, calling them youths, despite the fact that some of them are now in their 30s. He says the Teen Mom fans are into canceling, cancel culture. He says, you're talking about taking away at-risk youth's only source of income. Are you effing kidding me? You want to cut them off from their ability to support their children? Think about that, a-holes. You want them to be cut off? They've chosen, they're adults now, to take part in this thing where they make a living, and you want to take that away from them? That's horrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's disgusting. You guys, he had some really strong words about any of the fans that think that these girls should be fired. Dr. Drew said that most of the Teen Mom girls come from poor families and battle mental health issues. He said these are poor, at-risk youths all over the country. And let's be clear, teen pregnancy is a marker. It's a symptom of mental health issue. So they all have a spectrum of mental health issues. Adolescents don't complain of depression and crying. They get involved in truancy and sexual activity and drugs. That's how they act out their mental health problems. Now that they're adults, they're starting to reflect back. I had no idea that teen pregnancy is some form of mental health. It comes from mental health, which I guess I could kind of see that. I've never really thought about it, but I guess. Leah Messer, she has talked a lot about why she got pregnant and about what was going on in her life. And Dr. Drew said that essentially that she felt deeply abandoned and emotionally out of control, and she was craving some sort of closeness and contact. And so Corey, boom, and she ended up pregnant. So I guess it does make sense. He then talks about the Teen Mom girls' mental health issues. He says, Amber Portwood has a lot of mental health issues. I love Amber, but she has serious mental illnesses. She has a team that she works with and has worked with for years, much like many of the other girls that these fans complain about. Not only do they have teams of mental health professionals, but their children have teams of mental health professionals. He then commended MTV for the help that they provided to the girls on the show. He says MTV has gone to great lengths to get people the services and resources that they need. He says that they don't force them to do it, but they offer these things, and a lot of them took advantage of that. So when he talks about who his favorite is, who his favorite Teen Mom star is, he says Chelsea Huska is the easiest, but now that she's left the program, Caitlyn, she and Tyler were always kind of special to me. They stay in close touch with me. They call me for all kinds of things. Caitlyn does anyway. They all can call me, but Caitlyn does. Dr. Drew talks about Caitlyn and Tyler's relationship with their biological daughter, Carly, and her parents, Brandon and Teresa. He says, I think Carly's parents are sort of closing down access to Carly because they don't want the cameras and they don't want to be a part of any story. But her parents have been lovely. Dr. Drew then talks about how the show has helped teen pregnancy rates go down. So he says that teen pregnancy rates are the lowest that they have been since 1940. He also said that they've done 2 academic studies where they've gone into communities and proven that the higher the viewership of the show Teen Mom, the lower the teen pregnancy rate is. He says 2 studies have proven it. He says that by putting girls on TV that people can actually relate to, that they become invested in these girls, and it shows them the consequences that these girls face due to their choices. And he says that teenage girls, they get it and they understand it, and it kind of explains things, so it helps them in their decision making. She also asked him what he does before each reunion to get prepared for the reunions. And he says the production, they give him a package of footage and he will watch the whole season. Then he and production, they work together. He comes up with questions that he would like to ask the girls, and then production comes up with questions that they would like him to ask the girls. So he says, I come up with the things that I want to get into with them, but production gives me cards of stuff we need to get to. So I'm going to link the full interview in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. Go check it out. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because one of the things that I have wondered for many seasons is why does he really not hold them accountable? I don't even feel like, I'm not asking him to attack the girls. I'm not asking him to be mean or rude or ugly. Just hold them accountable in a professional way that I feel like he has the ability to do because of his profession, but I just feel like he doesn't do it. And I mean, I guess he explains it a little bit here by him questioning them and asking them the hard-hitting questions and holding them accountable when maybe that would cause, them to have like a mental breakdown. Maybe it would cause them to get upset and it would affect them mentally. And he's like, for a show, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going to affect these girls' mental health and get them all upset and depressed because I'm asking them the hard-hitting questions just for a show. I guess that makes sense, you know. In essence, this is for a show. Bottom line, this is for our entertainment. We watch this for our entertainment. So he's like, I'm not going to go hard on them girls for everyone else's entertainment. You know, he's like, if I see that they need help, that's something I'll do behind the cameras. You know, we'll discuss it, but I'm not gonna affect their mental health just for the show. So I get that. You guys, let me thoughts in the comment section below. Does this give you guys a little bit of an understanding as to why Dr. Drew does not question the girls more, especially Amber, like why he does not call her out on some of the things that she has said? He says she has a very unique situation, you know, and as long as she's taking care of it, then he is going to, I guess, coddle her in a sense. And if she's not, then he'll talk to her about that behind the scenes. Do you guys understand a little bit more why he is the way that he is in regards to the girls, specifically the girls like Amber? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.